Welcome, everybody, live. It's the Bullpen with Adam the Bull, courtesy of Bet Rivers. Yes, indeed. I guess I should shut off. I got to shut off the YouTube. I'm jubilant right now. Jubilant. I don't even say that word. And yes, I know Tarek Scooble's coming in 2 days, but 2 days is 2 days. Somebody already asked me, who do I want to see the Guardians play if they win, the Royals or Yankees? I got to first get by Scooble. But first, I got to celebrate today. What a win. A gutsy, gritty, hard-fought win by the Cleveland Guardians. Unbelievable. A sensational victory by the Guards. Glad to be back in my normal studio with good internet and good lighting. And I'm with you to celebrate this great win. It is the first time that the Cleveland Guardians have won an elimination game since they were down 2-1 to the Yankees in 1997. Since then, they had lost 11 straight elimination games. Remember, in 97, they were down 2-1 to the Yankees. They won Game 4, and then they won Game 5. Since then, they had never won an elimination game. And now that streak ends 27 years later. Although there were moments, even in as deep as the seventh inning of this game, where it looked like it might not happen. Let me take a breath. Hold on. I'm so fired up. Guardians win by a final score of 5-4. A nerve-wracking game, a lot of nerve-wracking moments, and some clutch moments. I had predicted a 4-2 Guardians victory and a Jose Ramirez two-run homer. Well, close, but not quite what we got the Guardians part. That was the most important thing. They won 5-4, not 4-2. Jose hit a home run, not in the first inning, later, but it was a solo shot, not a two-run shot. But it happened nonetheless. Guardians win. The series is tied at 2, and it comes back to Cleveland Saturday with the Guardians hoping to beat Tarek Scoobel, and we'll talk more about that later and certainly on the Guardian show tomorrow. But let's begin with how we got there. Let's go earlier into this game. Top of the first, we talked about it on the last post-game show, talked about it, every time I've been on with you, whatever format, since yesterday, talked about the Guardians having to get off to a good start in this game. It was imperative because they hadn't scored a run in 20 innings, and they did just that. The guy who's been the Guardians' best player, best hitter in the postseason, came through yet again. Steven Kwan leading off the top of the first with a base hit. Kyle Manzardo then rips one into right field. First and second, nobody out. Jose Ramirez, I said he did a first inning homer. He hits that bullet down the right field line. I'm like, oh my God, he hit it. And of course it went foul. And I don't even know if it was quite home run distance, but he ends up popping out, I think it was, to the left fielder. And then Josh Naylor strikes out with some ugly swings. And all of a sudden, I'm sure you all were like me, and I've been really positive about this team, but I'm sure a lot of you are like me when Lane Thomas comes up, even though he's been good down the stretch, even though he hit the big two-run homer in Game 1, the way the bats have been lately with the opportunities missed, I'm like, oh, God, they cannot blow this opportunity. They got first and second, nobody out. They got to get a run here, and Lane Thomas comes through. You see it right there on the screen. RBI single for Lane Thomas. That was huge. They don't score anymore, but I really feel like that first inning run allowed the entire team to just, like me, I need a breath. They needed a breath. Okay, this terrible streak of consecutive scoreless innings is over. Lane Thomas has come through. It's a beautiful thing, and just huge. And it gives the Guardians the 1-0 lead. All right, stays 1-0. Now, here's where things got a little crazy. From the jump, Tanner Bybee, to me, looked off. I didn't like the way he looked from the beginning of the game. He did get the shutdown inning in the top of the first, but it wasn't easy, as we all know, in the bottom of the first, because Austin Meadows doubles to start the bottom of the first. That guy's been incredible. And then Kerry Carpenter comes up. We know what he's done in this series, and he got hurt. That could be a big thing in this Game 5. We'll see. But Bybee does settle down and strikes out Carpenter. Vierling then pops out. He gets out of it, but he was not throwing the ball in the strike zone. Carpenter chased some high strikes to strike him out, and Bybee looked a little off. But I was like, okay, he'll be all right. He'll settle down in the second inning, and he'll be fine. Guardians didn't do anything in the second inning. They got a 2-out walk from Rocchio, but that was it. And by the way, Rocchio continues to have good at-bats, including in the ninth inning, that helped set up the insurance run, which we'll get to. Bottom of the second, though, this is when things got ugly. Tanner Bybee walks Keith. Then Spencer Torkelson on a 3-2 pitch. He knows Bybee can't get his fastball over the plate. He knows he can't throw the fastball. Torkelson struggles with the fastball. He doesn't have to worry about the fastball, and he lines that ball up the middle. Guardians very lucky, in my opinion, that he didn't hit one out there. Very lucky that this inning didn't get ugly. McKinstry then walks, and it's bases loaded, nobody out. Now, as you know, if you were following me on Twitter, at this point, I'm kind of flipping out. I was flipping out at bases loaded, nobody out. Bybee couldn't throw the fastball to save his life. And I'm like, what is happening? Why do they not have anybody warming up? Now, Carl Willis, a.k.a. Yoda, goes out to the mound with the bases loaded. That's when they started getting Cade Smith up. I thought he should have been up the second he walked Keith after an already shaky inning. But they do not get Cade Smith up, so obviously they had to let if Cade Smith had gotten up to start that inning, I think they would have brought him in to face Sweeney. Now, we'll never know, and we'll never know how the game would have gone from there. But he ends up facing Sweeney, Bybee, gives up the sacrifice fly after the meeting, then gets the huge double play. Remember, but Jake Rogers smoked that ball, but he hits into a double play because Torkelson, bad base running, got too far off the bag. Double play, gets out of the jam. Guardians, but it's a 1-1 game. I say Sweeney flies out. It was a sacrifice fly, tied the game, obviously. So they get out of it. They do get, could have been a lot worse. Bases loaded, nobody out. Line drive to end the inning. At this point, I'm like, okay, you got to get Bybee out of the game. So top of the third, Guardians get a little 2-out rally. Naylor and Lane Thomas again with back-to-back 2-out singles. Will Brennan at that point has a bad at-bat. He struck out to end the inning. They bring out Bybee for the third. I'm shaking my head. I'm like, it's the top of the lineup. What are you doing? To his credit, Stephen Vogt, left him in, and to his credit, Tanner Bybee settled down there for the next 2 innings. Boom, 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 gets out Meadows, Carpenter, Vierling. Guardians do nothing in the top of the fourth. He did give up a leadoff single to Riley Green in the fourth, but then struck out Keith and got Torkelson to ground into a double play, end of the inning. All right. So now it's 1-1. We're going to the fifth. The Tigers, who started Reese Olson, take him out to start the fifth inning. They go to Tyler Holton, who the Guardians roughed up in the first game of the series. He pitched well. What was it, in game 2? I can't remember if he pitched game 2 or game 3. Pitched well. He gets the first 2 guys out. He gets Quan. Remember, Holton's a lefty. Gets Quan the lefty. They decide to stick with Manzardo. Don't pinch hit for him there with Fry. They wanted to save Fry for later, and obviously it worked out. I was happy to see Manzardo get a chance against lefty early in the game. And then when they pinch hit with Fry later, no problem with that. Late in the game when you need it to happen. So 2 out, nobody on. Jose Ramirez, who had been having a terrible series after that double in the first inning of game 1, he crushes one, and the Guardians regain the lead 2-1. Got the homer I was predicting. 4 innings later, nobody on. But nonetheless, the Guardians had the lead 2-1. Now, in the bottom of the fifth, Bybee's still out there. He gives up a home run on, was it the first pitch? No, it was actually the fifth pitch of the at-bat to Zach McKinstry, but it was 3-1. He'd thrown 3 straight out of the zone. He'd been high in all 3 pitches. Got the home run pitch down in the zone a little bit, but it was really middle, and McKinstry took him deep to left. Now, people were going nuts at that point. Well, why'd you leave Bybee in? Now, I got to say, as someone who wanted Bybee out after 2, and who I think if they had warmed up Cade Smith earlier, he might have been out. I have no problem with Vogt leaving him in to start the fifth, because once you didn't take him out after the second, he had settled down, and he had retired. He had faced until McKinstry, he had faced 8 batters, had gotten 9 outs, and allowed 1 base runner. So I didn't have a problem with it at that point. Then with the home run, obviously Cade Smith comes in. Cade Smith goes 1-2-3 to get out of that inning. Guardians go 1-2-3 in the sixth. Still 2-2. Now, bottom six, Cade Smith starts off the inning. Single, strikeout, walk. At that point, he's close to 30 pitches. They pull him. Hunter Gaddis comes in. He strikes out Colt Keith for the second out. Game's still tied at 2. Unfortunately, we all know, and in the end it didn't matter, but Wencel Perez, who had a nice game in this one, a couple of hits, rips a single. Rips. It was a soft, pop that just found the right spot. And Perez comes through with a base hit. Carpenter scores. It's 3-2. Then Gaddis hits McKinstry with a pitch. So it's first and second, but then he got a big out, getting Sweeney to ground out to end the inning. But the Tigers had taken their first lead 3-2. Their first lead of the game. The Guardians were 9 outs away from being eliminated in the first round. In fact, they were 7 outs away from being eliminated in the first round because John Kenzie Noel on a real close play grounded out, and Brian Rocchio, who just missed one, flew out. 2 out, nobody on, and there goes that man again. Stephen Kwan got the go-ahead for good rally started with another single. Again, he was unbelievable, and he's been unbelievable in this postseason. Kwan gets the 2-out single. Then they use Fry to pinch hit for Manzardo. It's the 7th inning. Got no problem with that. Was glad for that move, even though you knew they were going to go to the righty Brisky, who's been great. But now Fry's seen him a few times. It was a really cool at-bat because on the first pitch to Fry, it was a really close pitch, high and tight. He gets called. It's a called strike. And you're like, oh, damn it. You hoping he can get ahead there. At this point, you're hoping Fry just finds a way on so you can get Ramirez up. Maybe he does some damage again, right? Then Fry fouls off the second pitch, fouls off the third pitch. Then it's an 0-2 count, throws another fastball. This one, 98. That was probably the hardest pitch he threw, certainly in that at-bat, maybe for the night for Brisky. It just misses. Like the Tigers thought they had strike 3 there, and who knows what would have happened. It just misses for ball 1. Then he's way off with a slider, 2-2. And then he goes back to the fastball right down the middle of the plate, and David Fry did not. The pitcher makes a mistake. You've got to take advantage of it. And I don't care how hard you throw a fastball down the middle. If you're a power hitter, and David Fry, not an elite power hitter, but he's got power, you got to take advantage of it. He smoked it. I understand. I'm significantly overweight. I'm not much of a jumper, but as best I could, I jumped off the couch the second David Fry hit that fastball because obviously I knew it was gone. And I'm like running around the living room. My wife's wondering what the hell's going on. That was unbelievable. Remember, Brisky had not allowed a hit in this series. I don't think he's given up a hit in the playoffs before this. Well, before the Kwan single. No. Because Brisky came in specifically for Fry. That's right. Kwan got the hit off of Gunther. So Fry hits the homer. So instead, you're 2 outs in the top of the 7th. You're down 3-2. And just like that, Fry makes it 4-3. So the Guardians take the lead. But you still got 9 outs to get. It was interesting. I thought Herron was going to come in for the 7th. I loved that Vogt stuck with Gaddis in the 7th. He brought in Austin Hedges, which I got no beef with. I like Austin Hedges for defense late in the game, especially when you're winning, not when you're losing, because then you might need him to hit. Gaddis got the first 2 easy. He then walked Jace Young on a 3-2 pitch, and I'm like, oh, no. I don't want this 2-out rally bullshit. But great pitch to Matt Vierling, strikes him out to get out of the inning. Still 4-3, going to the 8th. Guardians get a 2-out double for Will Brennan off Jackson Jobe, the rookie, in the top of the 8th. I was surprised he didn't get the 3rd. He just missed a homer. Just missed a homer. That ball missed the yellow line at the top by maybe an inch. Then Andres Jimenez, who's been terrible. He's had a terrible season offensively. He's been terrible in the postseason so far. It looked like he came through. He hits a bullet ground ball between first and second. Colt Keith makes a diving stop, throws him out. It would have easily given the Guardians an insurance run. They don't get it, and you're like, oh, no. Well, bottom of the 8th, Riley Green with Tim Herron pitching, then gets a single to start the inning. So the anxiety for all of us starts ratcheting up, right? It starts ratcheting up with the leadoff single. Ibanez pinch hits. Remember, Ibanez got that big triple against the Astros that gave them a win in I think it was the second game that they clinched that series against the Astros. Ibanez hits one deep to right. That ball almost got out, and I did not think. I thought it was a pretty routine fly ball off the bat, but he really got a hold of it. So he flies out deep. Obviously, Green stays at first. Then Perez gets a single. So now it's 4-3, but you had a chance to make it 5-3. You got robbed. Now the Tigers have first and second, one out, and McKinstry coming up, who just homered to give them the lead the last time up. Now, he's not a home run hitter generally, so you're not expecting him to hit a home run. At least I wasn't. The Guardians rightly went to Clase. Same time, last game they went to him with 2 outs in the 8th. This time with 1 out. It was a no-brainer. You cannot allow Tim Herron to face McKinstry in that situation with the tying run in scoring position. Clase comes in, gets the weak ground out from McKinstry, and then a fantastic at-bat or pitching at-bat for Clase. He struck out Sweeney with some nasty, nasty stuff, and the game stays 4-3. He gets out of the jam. But then in the top of the 9th, the Guardians are able to tack on, and this, obviously, the way the game ended up, was huge. Austin Hedges lines out to start the inning. Guy I've been talking about a lot, Brian Rocchio, again, base hit. He's fired up, gets the leadoff single. Guardians go hit and run. They did some Stephen Vogt. Listen, I was mad at him early. I didn't like some of the things he did yesterday, but he was right on it today. He was on his A game, especially late. He had Rocchio in motion, running with emotion like it's football. He had Rocchio running with Quan, and Quan, who's done such a great job making contact, gets a base hit with Rocchio on the move. He gets to third. So now you got first and third with only 1 out. And David Fry. I tell you, it's funny because my man Jake Crawford had been talking about a sack last time with Fry in game 2. He was talking about, they should have done a suicide squeeze with David Fry. And so when Fry comes up with first and third, 1 out, I'm thinking, I bet Jay's thinking about a suicide squeeze. I wonder if they do it here. 2 seconds later, Jay texts our group chat. He goes, hey, maybe I know Fry hit a home run, but maybe suicide squeeze. And then it happens. Fry gets it down. Great bunt. Everybody's safe. And the Guardians get what was obviously a massive insurance run to go up 5-3. Ramirez strikes out after just missing a 3-run homer. Would have been interesting if Ramirez had hit that 3-run homer in the 9th that went foul, and they would have had an 8-3 lead. You wonder if they would have pulled Clase and gone with someone else. Knowing how managers are nervous in these situations, I bet they would have stuck with Clase. I would have thought about pulling him, as crazy as that seems, with a 5-run lead. I would have thought about it. We'll never know, because it didn't happen because Ramirez ends up striking out. Naylor flies out end of inning. So Clase comes in to continue his outing in the 9th. They bring up Henry Malloy. He gets a leadoff double. Nice piece of hitting. Was it a slider? No, it was a fastball, but it was only 98. He wasn't throwing as hard. Did he hit 100 in the last inning? Yeah, he did. He did. Oh yeah. But earlier in that inning, his fastball or his cutter, his fastball and his cutter got kind of stronger as that inning went on. It was hey, listen, he didn't even throw that many pitches. I think he threw, what did he throw? 16 pitches to get 5 outs, I think. So he gives up the leadoff double. Then Young grounds out. Meadows then grounds out, gets Malloy to third. Young grounds out, Malloy scores. Obviously, if it had been a 1-run game, the Guardians would have played it differently. We'll never know what would have happened. Fortunately, it was a 2-run game. Didn't matter. So now it's 5-4, 2 out, nobody on. Matt Vierling at the plate. 4 straight cutters, not a surprise with Hedges behind the plate. 100, 101, 100, 100. Strikes him out swinging on a low outside pitch on the corner of the strike zone. And that's the ball game. The Guardians win it 5-4. An unbelievable performance. Folks, we have a record a record number of people watching me live. This is the most live views I've ever had in a Bet Rivers podcast, certainly for baseball, live at one particular time. Thank you all for watching. I'm going to read some chats, but it's going to be hard to read too many because there's like 1,000 of them because there's so many people here. But I appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the recap with me, but I got a lot more to talk about. So when you look at the box score, again, Quan goes 3 for 5. He's hitting 500 in this series against the Tigers. 2 runs scored. He's been setting the table the whole series. They got him in the first game. They got him in this game. That's been the difference. Manzardo got a hit in the first inning. David Fry obviously knocks in 3 with 1 official at bat, a 2-run homer and a sac fly. Jose getting the homer. Everybody had a hit except for Jimenez and Naylor from the starters. Those guys both struggling mightily. I think they have 1 hit between them in the postseason. Rocchio got a hit and he walked. He's got a 429 on base in the postseason. I mean, it's really been, Quan, Lane Thomas, Rocchio have been the best guys, and then Fry and Ramirez came through with the home run. There's not been much from anybody else. Josh Naylor's been not great. And obviously, the bottom of the lineup with Bo Naylor and Jimenez have not been very good. Well, Brennan did get the 1 hit late. As for the pitching, Tanner Bybee goes 4 innings. He obviously wasn't sharp. Gives up 2 runs, 6 base runners, 3 Ks, just enough to keep him in it. And all of the Guardians' relief pitchers, let's face it, none of them looked as lights out as we've seen them at their best. They did enough. Cade Smith, Hunter Gaddis, Clase, and Herring combined to go 5 innings. They allow 5 hits, 2 walks, 2 runs, 7 Ks. Good, not unbelievable, not as great as it's been. We got to be honest about it. But they got the job done. They pitched well, but the same thing for the Tigers. Brisky obviously gives up the run. He had been pitching well. Tyler Holton, they've gotten to him twice. Sean Gunther's been really good for them. They got to him as well. Job is a lights-out rookie, and you're going to see him next year as probably their number 2 starter. But I was a little surprised they brought him in that spot, but I'm glad, whatever. He's given up some runs in this postseason. Gave up some runs to Houston as well. In this game, Clase, 16 pitches, Herron only 7. Gaddis went 32, and Cade Smith 26. So that'll be interesting. But there's a day off before they play Game 5, and it's got to be all hands on deck. Obviously, it's going to be a major challenge. You're talking about having to beat Tarek Skubal or having to outlast Tarek Skubal. It'll certainly be a challenge. Right now, the game is scheduled for 4:38. Game 5. I believe if the I'm waiting to hear back. I believe if the Yankees win tonight and eliminate the Royals, and I think they're up 3-0. Let me double check that. I think if that happens, then the Guardians game will move back to a night game. Yankees do lead 3-0. That game is in the bottom of the 6th. So, Garrett Cole's pitching well for them tonight. He looks like vintage Cole this evening, or at least I say that. I haven't seen him. The Royals missed a good opportunity. They had they hit into a double play, and then Witt gets a single, but they never run our first 2 out. But it's the bottom of the 6th. So if the Royals can come back in this one, that series is over. And I believe the Guardians game will be played later in the evening. You'll have Game 5 Padres-Dodgers tomorrow before we have the Guardians Game 5. Man, I can't wait for that Game 5. It's going to be exciting. By the way, I'll have an Ultimate Cleveland Guardian show with Zach Meisel tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. And I'll be back on right here in the bullpen live after Game 5, win or lose, hopefully win. But either way, I'll be on after Game 5, no matter what. Even if the game ends, if it's an 8-something game, ends 11 o'clock, 11:30, I'll be here with you on Saturday. So either way, let's get to some reaction in the chat. XC70 says, wish you were still on 92.3. I appreciate that, XC. I am thrilled. I am so thrilled to not be. As much as I love my time there, I have no interest in doing a 5-hour radio show every day. It's absurd that that's still happening in some places. So I'm thrilled to be doing the podcast, doing the bullpen with Bet Rivers. I love my relationship with Bet Rivers. I love my relationship with Tagna and UCSS. I am extremely happy, so I appreciate that, but I would not change. Royals just got on the board. Vinny Pasquantino a double. It's 3-1 in the bottom of the sixth. Rose Lawn and Landscape Services says, who we pitch in Game 5? I assume it'll be Matthew Boyd. Now, Gavin Williams hasn't pitched in the series. I guess it's possible they'll go to him. I'll text with Zach later, see what he has to say. By the time Zach and I come on tomorrow morning on the Guardian show, we may have the answer. I would stick with Matthew Boyd. I thought he pitched very well in Game 2. Let's see. So Game 2 was Wednesday. No. Game 2 was Monday. So Game 5 is Saturday. So he'd have a full complement of rest. I don't know about going with Gavin Williams here. He hasn't pitched in so long. I can say the same thing for Alex Cobb. I'm assuming they will go with Boyd. He's pitched well. And so I think that's what they're going to do. I assume that'll be the case. We haven't seen – I don't even think Gavin Williams is warmed up at all. At least not that they said on the broadcast that I can remember. So I'm going to assume it's Boyd. We know for sure it's going to be Tarek Skubal. You got to hope he's not at his sharpest, and at the very least, you could outlast him. Maybe work some counts, get his pitch count up, and get him out of the game. It's going to be a low-scoring game. You got to battle, obviously. We'll see if they can get it done. But I believe in this team. I believe in this team, and I think listen, they're not going to batter Tarek Skubal. But you don't have to batter him. You got Boyd in this pen, and again, keeping it real, the pen hasn't been quite as sharp, but it's still been good. I believe in these guys, and I believe in the Guardians, and I think they can find a way to get it done. I think they will win this game 2-1, Game 5 Saturday night. We're going to be sweating it out, folks. We're going to be nervous tomorrow, and we're going to be nervous Saturday, and we're going to be nervous the whole game because it's going to be a nail-biter. But I think the Guardians will pull it out. And if they do, if they beat – Tarek Skubal is the best pitcher in baseball. End of conversation. Nobody is better than him right now. Nobody was better than him this year. He hasn't given up a run yet this postseason. If they find a way to win this Game 5 at home against Tarek Skubal after being down 2-1, after not winning a elimination game, 11 straight tries as a franchise since 1997, if they find a way, then maybe this magical run that we've believed in, that I believed in, this magical run that I said will lead them to a championship when they play the Mets in the World Series. The Mets have done their part to get to the NLCS. We'll see if the Guardians can do the same, but I think they will, and I feel really good about that. Yankees-Royals goes to the 7th. It's 3-1. Prime Cheese, Baseball Town. Listen, I love football, but there'd be nothing that would please me more than Cleveland being a baseball town. That's never going to happen, but at least for right now, hopefully it will be, and it can be if the Guardians win on Saturday. IO Rage, I love October as well. SW Lion, if the Guardians do win Game 5 against Skubal, I would not want to be playing the Guardians. Exactly what I said, SW Lion, because if you can beat Skubal coming back in a Game 5, the best pitcher in baseball, then there'll be no fear of beating anybody in the next round. Josh says, the second the game ended, I was thinking, I can't wait to listen to the bullpen after this. Love you, Bull. Love you, Josh. Love all you fans. Love all you baseball fans. Love it. I'm so glad you're all having a good time. I'm having a great time. Like I said, record number of people watching live at the same time. I don't even know what to say. I love you all. It's great. It's fantastic. I'm having so much fun. I'm going to miss some of your chat messages. I apologize for that. I'm doing the best I can. All right, we're going to read. If you sent them to me early, I just can't get back to the beginning here. Rose Lawn, I'm so happy you responded to my pitching question. I've been loving y'all's show. Thank you. Dale says, Skibbity, Ohio. I know that's a skibbity. That's a term for the young people today. I don't know what it means, but hopefully it's not a curse. But listen, I can curse. I say fuck shit all the time. I love it. F the Yankees and the Tigers. Jake the Misfit, Bull, you're a legend. That's true. I can't disagree with that. SW Lion baseball is a great game. Gen XJ, Big Christmas, going to deliver Saturday. Yes, with Scooble starting, you will see Big Christmas, and you will see David Fry in the starting lineup. David Fry will be batting second in that game, I assume. By the way, I doubt he'll do it, but if I were Stephen Vogt, I would seriously consider moving Brian Rocchio up in the lineup. He has played. I thought he played his best baseball in September, and he's played even better in the postseason. He's probably been their second best hitter in the playoffs. I would move him up. I'd consider moving him up to the 7th spot. I know, what's the big deal? I would. I'd bat the catcher 9th, whoever it is, whether they go with Bo Naylor or even if they go with Austin Hedges in the last game. I'd bat the catcher 9th, and I'd bat Rocchio 7th. Although I think part of the reason they don't do that, and they probably won't, is because when you flip over the lineup, they like having the speed, Rocchio's speed, just because if he gets on ahead of Kwan's a good base runner. If it's Naylor or certainly Hedges, you kind of get bogged down by the slow runner. So they probably will keep it the same. But I just want to show some love for Rocchio. I thought he was going to have – I liked him coming into the season. He had a disappointing year, but he really picked it up down the stretch. And he's not shown any fear in this postseason at all, and it's good to see. Sam says, Bull, since you called Cleveland home, the Indians Guardians have 7 playoff appearances in 13 seasons. I think you're good luck charm. Thank you. Don't ever move. I'm not going anywhere. This is my home, baby. I'm replacing my kitchen and bathroom. I wasn't going to do that if I was moving. Well, some people, put new things in their home and then they move out, but not me. I'm doing it because I want to enjoy my house even more. All right, Zach Meisel just texted me back. Because I had asked him if the Yankees win, then the Guardians game moves to 8, right? And he said, yep, that is the case. So if the Yankees win, and again, they're up 3-1 in the 7th, then right now the Guardians game is scheduled for 4:30. If the Yankees eliminate the Royals, then that Guardians game will move to 8. Honestly, first of all, I want the Yankees to have to play, at minimum, the Yankees to have to play a Game 5. I would like the Royals actually to win the series because then the Guardians would have home field advantage. But at the very least, I'd like the Royals to push the Yankees to a Game 5. And selfishly, but I'm sure many of you would agree, unless you have plans Saturday afternoon, I'd rather the Guardians play at 4:30. I don't want to have to wait another 3.5 hours. Plus, if you're a big football fan, the Buckeyes play at night. So if the Guardians play at 8 and the Buckeyes play at 7, for some, not for me, but for some people, it'll be a conflict. The Guardians play at 4:40, 4:30, then you don't have to worry about it. So let's go Royals. Come rally back so we don't have to have that situation. So, yes, the Guardians game will move if the Yankees hold on. Again, they're up 3-1 in the 7th inning. Ryan says, benches clearing? The benches clear? I can't watch the game right now. I'm doing the podcast. Obviously, I don't. I'm unable to watch the game right now because I'm busy. I'm focused on that. I'm looking at the score. But did the benches really clear? I don't even know if that's true. G the amputee says David Fry showed up big. I don't know why I'm giggling about that. Yes, he did. Tommy says, Bull, I hope we all celebrate here with you after the big win Saturday on the bullpen. Let's go. Let's go, Tommy. I agree. Brandon says Hedges over Bo in Game 5. Listen, right now, Bo Naylor can't hit at all. So as down as I am on Hedges because he can't hit, with Naylor unable to hit, I would certainly consider starting Hedges because and Naylor's done a good job defensively, but in terms of calling pitches, it was a noticeable difference with Hedges out there with Clase, and so I wouldn't have a problem with Hedges being out there in this game. Curtis says, let's not forget Andres bunt for an out. That was awful. That was terrible. I think it could be Hedges in this game, but we'll see. And by the way, Hedges is, I believe, I have to double check this. I think Austin Hedges he didn't do anything in the last game, but I think Austin Hedges has actually had some success, believe it or not, offensively against Tarek Skubal, if I remember correctly. Let's see. Career versus Tarek Skubal. Am I right or am I making this up? Yeah, Austin Hedges is 3 for 10 with an RBI and only 2 strikeouts against Skubal. So he's actually hitting 300 against them. The worst hitter in baseball is hitting 300 against the best pitcher in baseball. What else? I mean, that's just baseball, right? This is nuts. It's nuts. Joe Key Coffee Green the West. The women is not good. The weather. I can't read. The weather is not good on Saturday night too. Yeah, I thought it was supposed to rain Saturday, but then the forecast changed. Now it might rain Sunday. We've been trying to play our fall ball championship games. I got 2 teams in the championship, my 9 and 10-year-olds, my 11 and 12-year-olds. We tried to play 2 weeks ago. We got rained out. Last week was the All-Star game. We're supposed to play this Sunday. We might get rained out again. We're going to have to wait till Thanksgiving to play at this point. John says, wow, Hedges hit 300. Must be bunts. No. I guess you never know. Rose Lawn says we got to start Fry no matter what. Well, it's a lefty pitching, so Fry's going to be in there. Kevin, can we please not have so many Detroit fans on Saturday? Yeah, folks, don't sell your tickets to Tiger fans. Come on now. We need a full house of Guardians fans. Corey says, yeah, Yom Kippur. With Yom Kippur, hope it's at 8 p.m. Oh, yeah, Yom Kippur. You think I'm Jewish myself, you think I'd remember that? If you're, I'm not super observant, so I will watch the game even during Yom Kippur. But for those who know that they'd rather have the game at 8. So for you, I'll hope that the game's at 8. Anyway, people saying swap Rocchio and Andres Jimenez. That's not a bad idea. I would like to see Rocchio hitting a little higher in the lineup. Folks, I love y'all. I'm sorry I couldn't read too many messages. There were just too many. But let me say that I really, really, really appreciate the love and support. I appreciate that you are all here to celebrate with me. I'm so glad you're happy. I want everybody to be happy. I want this team to win a World Series, but it's one game at a time. To get that championship, you got to win 11 games. You got to. One step. Let's go. Let's get this win against Skubal. Let's put everybody else on notice. F everybody else. Let's get the Guardians through. Folks, you got to be out in that crowd. Don't sell your tickets, like I said. I love you, Kevin, Diver Bob, IO Range, Mike, Fenny, Caleb, Edward, Chris, John Markey, John Fagan, Brian, Jocelyn. I love y'all. I am your baseball guy. We will be here together. Whatever happens Saturday, I will be here with you. We need this win. We got to have this win. Come on, Guardians. You had lost 11 in a row in this situation. Before that, you'd won 2 in a row against the Yankees. Let's make it 2 in a row again in elimination games. Beat Tarek Skubal. And as Chad says, you're right, Chad. I like your message. Skubal can have his Cy Young. He's got it. I'll take the ALCS. Let's fucking go, Guardians! I'll see you all Saturday. Ultimate Guardian Show, 9 a.m. tomorrow. I'll be on UCSS at 11 a.m. tomorrow. Back with the podcast, live here, right here with Bet Rivers in the bullpen, Saturday after the game. Folks, make sure you're using the Bet Rivers app. I'll have a parlay on the Stinky Browns on Sunday. I'll have a Browns post game on Sunday. I've got you covered head to toe. Let's go, Guards. Let's go, Guards. Let's go, Guards. I'll see ya. See y'all. Love ya. Bye.